A very good afternoon, dear students. So, today is the second session in our series of Success at CA exam. In the morning, you were taught about paper 1, Advanced Accounting. Now we are moving on to our next paper, which is paper 2, Corporate and Other Laws. So these Success at CA examinations sessions are done so that you get success in the upcoming September 2026 examinations. As all of you know that the exams are starting and very few days are left. So we will be focusing more on how to revise. With this, I welcome Bhumi, Melody, Bhuva, Aditya, Gayatri, Lavanya, Bhupendra. A very good afternoon to dear students. So today we are standing on 20th of August, and let's try to make this session as interactive as possible so that you make the best use out of this session. This 2-hour session we are designing so that you can learn more about how to score good marks. So I will be your host and mentor for this session. I'm CA Shraddha Saxena. Let's go further. But this is like just customary, as I know you must have already prepared well till now for this paper, but then also a brief discussion about the relevant materials that are applicable for your attempt. So the list of publications is the study material July 2024, reprint August 2025 is applicable for the September 2026 examinations. Then, once you must have done your study materials thoroughly by now. So you need to practice the questions. So what are the sources of practicing the questions? You can practice the questions like there are two types of basic questions that are coming. One are case scenarios, and the other is your descriptive questions. So in order to prepare for those 30 marks of MCQs, which are case scenario based MCQs, you can practice from the MCQ dashboard, which is available on the website of the institute, or rather you can directly go to the BoS knowledge portal. So there we have our MCQ dashboard. Then you should be having your MCQ booklet with you also. If any one of you is not having the booklet, then you can refer the soft copy which is available on the BoS knowledge portal. Then the second source, from this you will be preparing the MCQs. Then for the descriptive portion, you can refer the questions which are given at the back of each chapter with the heading Test Your Knowledge. So there we are giving you Test Your Knowledge questions chapter wise. But since you are at the later stages of your preparation, you should have by now seen the revisionary test papers also. So I don't need to tell you much about the RTPs, because RTP is a very important part which contains your both amendments applicable for your attempt, as well as they tell you about the practice questions also. With some scenario is given and followed by MCQ. Then we have descriptive questions also in the RTP. Then 2 series of mock tests have been conducted for you. So you should have seen them by now. They are available. All these things are available on the website. Then the last but not the least is your suggested answers. Suggested answers are what? Suggested answers are your past attempt papers solved. If you want to see the solved, then refer suggested. If you just want to attempt the questions, then you should go in for there is a tab which says about question past year question paper. So that will be containing just the question paper. You can solve it and then you can check it from the suggested that are provided in on the website BOS Knowledge Portal. I hope all of you are knowing about all of this. Just a quick uh, input from your side through on the chat. Kindly respond on the chat that, okay, all of you are aware about these resources and you know from where to see it. Okay, good. So I think I should not go in for a walkthrough of the website then, since I'm getting a yes from the students. So I hope that you guys are very well aware from, if you have still not seen it, you can just directly go to the BOS Knowledge Portal and you can, at this moment, I'm telling you, just go to the BOS Knowledge Portal and see it. इतनी जल्दी में खरीदना एंड उसको लाना आप लोगों के लिए पॉसिबल नहीं होगा, तो अभी आप सॉफ्ट कॉपीज में देख सकते हैं. And the students who have practiced from all those sources to attempt the, and what can we attend in Aditya, you can attend either MCQs or the description. So Aditya is asking that what should we attempt first. The key to attempt the question paper, okay, I will take it after a minute or so. So study material is to be referred along with the RTP as it contains the amendments. Okay, apart from that practice paper questions, it also contains the amendment. So for September 2026 examinations, all amendments up to 28th of February 2026 are applicable 6 months prior to the examination. So do refer the amendments, and there is a very important, though all the amendments are always important. However, the amendment related to small company is very, very, very important for you guys. Can any one of you tell me that what is the limit in case paid up share capital? As
Yes, ma'am.
per what is the limit applicable to you guys? बताओ क्या applicable है आपके लिए?
Ma'am, it's 10 crore for paid up share capital and 100 crore for turnover.
Not 4 and 40. बेटा
Hello, ma'am.
नॉट 4 and 40. मेरा थोड़ा खराब हो रहा है, सो आज आप लोगों को मुझे थोड़ा सा ध्यान से सुनना पड़ेगा. 4 और 40 वाला नहीं एप्लीकेबल होगा आपके लिए.
10 crore और 100 crore.
आर यू श्योर? आर यू श्योर?
Yes.
हाँ ठीक है. तो इन इफेक्ट हम आपसे क्यों बोलते हैं कि आप अमेंडमेंट्स देखें, क्योंकि अब अगर आपको कोई भी स्मॉल कंपनी से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन आएगा, उसमें जो आपको लिमिट एप्लीकेबल करनी होगी वो 10 करोड़ और 100 करोड़ करनी होगी. हाँ बेटा, जनवरी 27 के लिए भी अगर इन्होंने कोई लिमिट चेंज नहीं किया तो यही एप्लीकेबल होगी. वैसे अब चेंज होगी नहीं क्योंकि 6 मंथ्स हो चुका है, कोई नई लिमिट आई नहीं है. जनवरी 27 जो आपने नीतू पूछा है, बट दिस इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू दिस बैच. अभी सितंबर 26 की बात चल रही है. तो आपको अब अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन आएगा, if you get any question related to small company, so the limit that will be applicable to you will be 10 crore and 100 crore. Now, one more thing that is to be noted is, उससे जो 3 exceptions थी ना हमारी, what were those 3 exceptions जहां पर कोई कंपनी स्मॉल कंपनी नहीं होती? एनी वन ऑफ यू?
यस मैम.
हाँ बताओ क्या होता है, अपना नाम भी बताना. हाँ जी बताओ बेटा. Hello. Oh, नहीं, no giggling. I have to then be a strict teacher to all of you. Nee, OPC private company is not an exception in this case. किस किस केस में आपके पास स्मॉल अगर आपके सारा आप एप्लीकेबल हो रहा है फिर भी आपको हम स्मॉल कंपनी नहीं, हाँ सेक्शन 8 कंपनी, देन होल्डिंग सब्सिडरी का रिलेशनशिप, करेक्ट, एंड देयर इज वन मोर, फटाफट. ओके, I will keep in mind today. I'm sorry, Melody. I will now. Okay, so this is correct. So these three conditions: holding subsidiary governed by another law and Section 8 companies, they are directly, even if they are falling within the limit of those small company, then also they will not be considered as a small company. So those three exceptions are still very much applicable. It's just that they have changed the limit. Okay? All of you, please mute yourself, otherwise I have to forcibly do it. So next, the live virtual classes, the recorded lectures are available for you guys. For September 26th, the live virtual classes recorded lectures are still available for you. So if you have problem in any topic, just go to that lecture and see that relevant portion and your doubt can be cleared. So that you don't have to call your friends and go about it. कि इसका क्या answer, that what will be the answer. So as you know, I'm damn sure that you guys are well aware of the BoS knowledge portal. You can download it on your as a BoS mobile app also, and you will get all the resources there. Okay. So this is a bit about like you can from Google Play Store or BoS mobile app. Amendments I have told you. So you have seen the amendments. It is available under the relevant amendments tab in the BoS knowledge portal, and it is also available as a part 1 of RT. Chalo. Now let's move to the main thing, which is your examinations. So what you have to do is the key to success is not only your preparation. By now, you must have prepared enough for your examination. We're just 15, today is 20th. You are just 14 days away from your examination. In the past year, you can see that what is the paper pattern, whatever I will be telling you as per the past year papers that have come. So the paper is divided into two divisions. One is part 1 and part 2. Division A, division B, we say it generally. So one is your MCQs and other is your descriptive. So what happens is 100 marks paper is there. Division A and division B. 30 marks and 70 marks. So this 30 marks is entirely MCQs based. And this is all descriptive. In this 30 marks paper, you will be getting a scenario. which will be followed by 2 to maximum 5 MCQs in a single scenario. It can contain one MCQ also, scenario followed by an MCQ. Generally, what happens is they will be giving a bit lengthier scenario consisting of a few facts, and it will be followed by 2 to 5 MCQs. Now, what you have to do is read the scenario. Just a moment, Ajit. ये इसको नो कर दो. हाँ जी. So what will it will be followed by MCQ. So what will happen is you have to read the case scenario and then answer those MCQs. Many a time, so every MCQ will have 4 options. Out of that, you will have to mark one correct answer, and that is to be marked in your OMR sheets. Read the instructions that they are to be marked, which pencil and how it is to be marked. You need to be very careful on this account. So read the instructions. In the admit card, they give you the instructions that what kind of a pen you can bring, what color you can bring, and how to mark the answers in the mark sheet. Which pencil you have to darken it. Be very sure. Otherwise, sometimes what students do, they write the answer in the this answer booklet. Those will not be marked. Even if you have written everything correctly, those will not be marked. So this MCQ is for 30 marks and all the MCQs are compulsory. That means there is no choice. And every MCQ is of 2 marks each. So what does we mean in effect by 2 marks each is that there will be 15 MCQs. Okay? And all are compulsory. No reasoning is to be given for MCQs. That means if you are conceptually very strong, but somehow you are not that good, though I don't expect from a CA student to be not that good in writing of answers like descriptive, but if you're conceptually very strong, this 30 marks become a cakewalk for you. Reason being, if the answer is yes or no, it will not change. It is not depending upon the perception of the paper checker. They don't have to see what reasoning you are writing. If the quorum as per section 103 is that it is 5 members personally present, so answer will be 5 members personally present only. It will not change. So students who are conceptually very strong should attempt the MCQ portion first, because then they grasp those 30 marks very easily and in a very fast manner. So what happens is, I think Aditya, you asked me that what should I attempt first, the descriptive portion or the MCQs? Though it differ from student to student, but then also since you are CA students and conceptually you need to be strong, MCQs attempting becomes much easier for you guys. You must have studied a lot by now. So reading the scenario, sometimes students do tell us that they put the reverse technology also, that they first read the MCQs and then they read the scenario. So students do this also. You can do that. That's your choice because it's an examination. Ultimately, you need to clear it. But in this strategy, there is just one fault that if you skip any of the material facts that are given in the scenario, you will lose the mark. Like this time, I received a query from the student who said that there is, I don't remember, I will not be telling the exact context. The student was saying that no relevant facts have been mentioned in the scenario. So, what I am guessing is it was very clearly given that it was related to the quorum thing only. The student skipped it because I'm expecting is the student must have first read the MCQs and then went back to the scenario to read it. So she or he must have skipped that relevant portion. What happened was all of the facts related to quorum were given at one place. However, at a late on a different next subsequent page, they gave about of one more fact which was very relevant to that MCQ. So this reverse technology that the students put is good, but always read the facts of the scenario in full. Otherwise, you may skip some information which is important in solving your question. Okay. Second thing that I would tell you about the MCQs is I told you that there is no reasoning. So scoring of marks in MCQs become easy. Now for students who are not conceptually strong, what happens is they directly lose 2 marks if their answer is wrong because there is no step marking in case of MCQs. It's either 2 or 0. But if you can do it, then you should be like doing the MCQs in around 30-35 minutes. So if in 30-35 minutes you gain around 30 marks, and I have seen papers where students are getting around 26, 26 marks, 28 marks in MCQs. Okay. So I hope, Aditya, now your question is answered that whether we should first attempt MCQs or we should attempt the descriptive part. And then there is positive point of MCQs is no negative marking is there. No reasoning is to be given. And these are of 30 marks. Then moving on to the next portion, which is your descriptive part. So this is for 70 marks. Question number 1 is generally compulsory. Then out of question number 2 to question number 6, these are 5 questions. You have to attempt any 4. So 1 plus 4, total 5 questions you have to attempt. Till now, we have seen that all the questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are of 14 marks each. Generally 5 plus 5 plus 4. So 5 plus 5 generally is of companies. One question is generally from the Companies Act. One is from other law. And one they oscillate between the Companies Act and the other laws. So in effect, what happens is you cannot go in for selective study that I will be leaving a few chapters. And nowadays, the kind of paper that they are asking is you cannot even leave any topic also. So I would say even if at this stage, if you would have left any chapter altogether, don't skip that chapter, even if it's from the other laws portion, be it LLP portion or the other laws portion, don't leave it. If you have not done it altogether, just do what? Just go to YouTube and the lectures that we have put. When you're not feeling like doing anything, just put that 2.5 lecture in your ears and complete the chapter. And we have our Saransh booklet. I guess you must be aware about it. So if I take the example of chapter interpretation of statutes, go to that chapter, go refer the lecture from the YouTube, listen to it, and uh, simultaneously also refer the Saransh. So at least out of 8 marks, like in interpretation of statutes, we get 8 marks. 2 questions of 4 marks each. Generally, we get 8 marks questions. So at least you will get 4. I hope you take a serious note of this, because time and again it has come to the notice that students are leaving Journal Clauses Act and the interpretation of statutes. Just imagine the impact that interpretations of statutes is generally 8 marks and the Journal Clauses Act is generally 10 to 12 marks. If I take it on the lower side also, then also you are losing 18 marks. And 18 marks, if I say 100 minus 18, so it's 82. You're already attempting only 82 marks paper. So if you're attempting only 82 marks paper, you are already losing your battle by 18 marks. And out of, if I take a passing percentage of 50% only, 82 divided by 50% is 41 marks. So that kind of a situation of a doldrum has come. So don't leave those topics. I'm saying, वैसे तो you should have completed it by now. But in case you have left anything, I'm giving you a solution to how to do it. I hope so. You take a note of it. Question number 1, not attend. Even paper not valued. No, no, no. There is nothing like that, that the paper will not be valued. Okay. Paper will be valued. It's just that if you have not attempted question number 1, then 100 minus 14. 86. Your paper is now, you're getting marks out of 86 now. Understand? So I generally take the kind of speed that we have, everything that we have, and we know that we need to individually get 40 marks and aggregate 50 is there. So in that case, 86 divided by 50, that's my calculation, because I think you cannot be like doing every answer very good. So even if I think that if you are doing 50% correct, so 86 divided by 2 is, my calculations right now are going haywire. I think that's 86 divided by 2, 43. Okay. So you are now again in a doldrum kind of a situation. Supposedly you have done full 14 marks question, like you said, Nagarjuna, that 14 marks question number 1. I'm saying, if even if you were not have done it very correctly, but out of 14, you can at least get 6, 7, so that 43 will automatically turn to somewhere 50. I hope I'm able to make my point to you. Okay, thank you. So moving on to next. Question number 1 is compulsory. If I'm saying in descriptive, that means that no choice is there. It is compulsory. If you do not attempt it, 14 marks are gone. But out of 2 to 6, you have to attempt any 4. And generally, they are giving one internal choice also in one of the questions. Okay, moving further. I have just told you about that illustrative division paper pattern division A and division B. Then MCQs, I have told you that there will be 30 marks case study and independent MCQs. Then for paper pattern in division B, I told you that the descriptive part is 70 marks, question 1 compulsory, attempt 4 out of the remaining questions. Okay. Now, if supposing that you have completed all your chapters by now, and if you have not completed any of the chapters is left, I told you how to do that also. Moving further, I hope you must have attempted the MTPs. If not, what is the correct way to attempt an MTP? Take out the printout of the question paper. Lock yourself for 3 or 15 minutes in a room. Give yourself 15 minutes of reading time and 3 hours of dedicated time the way you give in your examination. Even if you attempt 2 MTPs like this, it will boost your morale as well as your confidence for the examination. Now for this 14 days, we know that Raksha Bandhan is coming, and after that this other kind of festivals will also start coming up. Please, these 15 days, 14 days are very important for you. So do not waste your time. Okay. Many a times we do get asked question, like I have been asked right now also, how to write answers in descriptive paper. Whenever you are doing any descriptive answer, let's try to take an example. I hope you can see this. Okay. So this is your current RTP. Let's try to do one. अलग से भी शेयर हो रही है एज इन मेरे को यहाँ पर सिर्फ मैंने पीपीटी नहीं शेयर कर रही, मैं ये आरटीपी शेयर कर रही हूँ अलग से। अब देखिए, अब ठीक है। ओके ओके, ठीक है। So let's take a question so you get an idea that how should we attempt a descriptive answer. So whenever you are doing getting any descriptive question, Obviously, it will be containing a few facts, and then there will be a requirement that what you need to do. Okay. Let's try to do it on the basis of okay, let's take it for this. White Limited. White Limited is an unlisted public company having 5 directors in its board, which includes 2 independent directors. Black Private Limited is a subsidiary company of White Limited, actively carrying on its business, having a paid-up capital of rupees 1.5 crore with 40 members and turnover of 18 crore, respectively. And the said company is not a startup company. So we have given this also. In this context, answer the following. Whether, see, they have given us 2 companies. One is White Limited and one is Black Private Limited. So while reading the question, you need to be very sure that what is the requirement and in context of which company, the question they are asking. Whether Black Private Limited is mandatorily required to prepare cash flow statement for the financial year as part of its financial statements. So now I have to think about, if I'm reading this question, I have to think about this question from the point of view that which all company are required. What is a cash flow statement? I know, but there is an exception that these companies are not required to prepare a cash flow statement. I hope you must be remembering the definition of cash. You must be remembering the definition of financial statements, wherein they have given that what all is included in cash financial statements. 2 subclause 40, and then they are saying that these companies are not required to prepare a cash flow statement. So this brings us to the importance of the definitions. And they are asking in respect of Black Private Limited. You must be remembering the exceptions. They are also writing in this question, provide your answer by analyzing. Now they are specifically asking you that you have to analyze the company with respect to that whether it's a OPC, small company, and a private company. They're giving you a hint also here. Okay. You have read the facts of the question. When you are reading the facts, a point should come in your mind that, okay, roughly what provision will be applicable. Why I'm saying what provision will be applicable while writing the answer, always write the relevant provision. Many a time students say that they were not having time or they are not very good with writing, so they don't write the provision. Writing of provision do carry marks. It also means that supposedly, like in this question, if I'm saying that answer is related to section 2 clause 40, it's not necessary for you to write the, see, I'm saying it wrong. It's 210. No, it should not be 210. There is some, it's 240. I think here it's, I will get back to you. I think it should be 240, not 210. I will just see to it. Give me a moment. If we see this, then we need to be, it's not necessary for you to write the section numbers. However, as a good practice, we should always write section numbers. Like right now, I was remembering it's 240 from my memory, but somehow 210 is written, but it's 240. You can correct it in your copies. So what happens is, if even if your conclusion is wrong, but if you write this portion as correct, which is the provision, you will at least get the marks for the provision. I hope you can now appreciate this point, that why we always emphasize and why the answers are long in the suggested. Always first write the provision. Always write the provision. Once you have written the provision, then write the facts of the question. So in this case, the provision was that the financial statement in relation to a company includes the balance sheet, then the profit and loss account, cash flow for the financial year, a statement of changes in equity, and any explanatory note annexed to. Then they are also telling us that with respect to one-person company, small company, dormant company, and a private company, which is a startup, may not include cash flow statement. Okay, so your answer is to be given from this part. Even if it's like that, you have to write this portion, even if you have to write it in short. So I guess now you get the answer, that do we have to write very lengthy answer? No, but somewhere you need to write that financial statements of a company includes a balance sheet. So a student can write a balance sheet. No, this will not work. You have to write a balance sheet, full balance sheet. Obviously, it's at the end of the year, but even if you are writing the answer in short, short does not mean writing shorthand. So a balance sheet, a profit and loss account. Oblique, I can write an income and expenditure account, a cash flow statement, statement of changes of equity, and any explanatory note annexed to or forming part of the previous points. Okay, and then this exception is to be written. I hope it is clear. So once you have written this, we will be now going back to our question and seeing that how now this provision is linked to the facts of the question. So my question was, there was a company and it has a subsidiary, this private limited company, Black Private Limited, that is there. But since they have specifically mentioned in the question that I have to analyze it on the following points, they gave us 3 points. So first, one person company. I am now not writing things again and again. I am just saying that since the company is having 40 members, so obviously it is not a OPC. So it is not this company. Okay. Is it a small company? If I see the limits for what? Turnovers and paid up capital. Now here, uh, though I know this is not a small company, but I will try to tell the paper checker that I'm well aware of what? I'm well aware of the latest amendment. So I will be telling that, okay, though it is falling within the limits of a small company, see, paid up capital of 1.5 crore and a turnover of 18 crore, wherein we told that the limit is now 10 and 100. So though it is falling within that limit, but since it is a subsidiary of White Limited and it is falling within the exceptions, we will tell that this is not a small company. See, a company which is a subsidiary, if I have to write it in short, I will be writing that it is not a as it, though it is falling within those limits of 10 and 100 crore, but since it is a subsidiary company and it falls within the exception to section 285, it will not be considered as a small company. Then the third was private company, which is a startup. So in this, we have given that it is the Black Limited is not a startup company. It is provided in the facts. And it is a company which is a subsidiary of a company, not being a private company, shall deem to be a public company for this purposes of the Act, even where such subsidiary company continues to be a private company in its articles. So it is not falling as a private company, especially as a started company on two accounts. So Black Private Limited, though it is structured as a private company, see, yes, but the Section 240 exemption only reaches a private company that is also a startup, and the facts expressly says that this is not a startup. So Black Private Limited shall deem to be a public company as it is not a subsidiary of White Limited. Sorry, as it is subsidiary of White Limited. So it will not fall into this category of exemption. Now, first we have written the provision, then we have linked the facts with the provision. Now comes an important part, which is conclusion. And this is very important. Every part is important, though step marking is there. So every point is getting certain marks of their own. You have written the whole answer, but if you're not writing the conclusion or writing a wrong conclusion, then definitely a few marks will be deducted. It can be concluded that Black Private Limited is mandatorily required to prepare cash flow for the financial year as part of its financial statement, that is, does not fall in any of the categories mentioned under provision to section 240 of the Companies Act. So see, there are three main points or portion that are to be remembered while writing any descriptive answer. Provision, then linking of provision with facts of the question. Then the next step is conclusion. Only when you write all of these, the answer is complete in itself. However, we don't have to write we cannot write word to word of the provision. So We write the essence of the provision in such a manner that we do not skip the major key points of the provision. I hope it's now clear how to write an answer. I hope, students, it's clear with you how to write a descriptive answer. Thank you, Melody. Thank you. Okay, okay. So let's take a few more things. So I'm taking this because recently I have been getting a lot of queries from students with respect to interpretation of statutes and Journal Clauses Act. Give me a moment. Mm, okay. Okay, so this is the chapter Interpretation of Statutes, sorry. Let me go back to my question. This interpretation of statutes. Let's read this question. Okay, Aditya, it is not compulsory to write section numbers, but as I told you that as a good practice, we should always try to write because somewhere it creates an impression that, okay, the student is knowing, the student is prepared for the next level because as chartered accountants, you need to remember a lot of section number. Like if you see, though the section number written here was something else, but I remembered it from my memory. So you should also try inculcating this habit. Prior to 2024, the State Environment Protection Act, hypothetical example, imposed penalties only on factories that directly discharge untreated waste into water, into rivers. Over time, several industries began outsourcing waste disposal activities to third party contractors. So they were saying this State Environmental Protection Act said that, okay, untreated waste के ऊपर they were putting on penalties. So what these factories started doing, they started outsourcing this work of waste disposal. Although these industries were the ultimate source of the waste, they escaped liability because they were not the direct polluters under the existing law. To address this, see, a loophole has come up. So, in order to address this, what the legislature was amended, and then they are putting another provision. Any person who causes or contributes to the pollution, directly, indirectly, shall be liable for the prescribed penalty. Okay. Subsequently, now they are giving us a situation that this Green Earth Limited engaged independent contractor for waste disposal. Not doing it directly, they are engaging a third party. The contractor illegally discharged hazardous waste into a river. Green Earth contended that since it did not directly release the waste, the amended provision should not apply to it. In the light of the principles laid down in Hayden's case, now you should know what is Hayden's case. Discuss how the court should interpret the provision. And would Green Earth Limited be liable? Give reasons. So what happens is, we should now know what is Hayden's case. This is a celebrated case. Now supposedly as student, you have not studied Hayden's case. I would say the thing that I was telling you again and again, that see it from the Saransh, as well as just listen to the LVC classes. So this is the Saransh. Let's see that where have we given Hayden's case. Literal construction, this and that, this. Can any one of you tell me that what is Hayden's case? I just want to see your knowledge. Any one of you? Mischief rule. One is saying mischief rule. Then okay. So in Hayden's case, what is there is to make such construction as shall suppress the mischief and advance the remedy according to the true intention of the correct. So the words that you are writing, see, you have written it, and it is here also, suppress the mischief and advance the remedy according to the true intention of the legislature. And where is this rule generally used? Where the language used in a statute is capable of more than one interpretation. Obviously, if the rule is unambiguous, why will we apply it? You got it? And mischief rule can be applied only if there is an ambiguity. So if you see, both these tabs are saying the same thing, almost. but in a different manner. So now in this you have got three major lines. We keep on telling that what is to use the keyword. So suppress the mischief, advance the remedy, and it is to be used where the language is capable of more than one interpretation, and it can be used where is to be applied where there is ambiguity in the present law. Now we have given a basically diagram, like this question has come in number of times, that what was important points to be kept in mind while applying the mischief law. Now let's go back to our answer. I hope the question is clear, and now you will be able to appreciate why we are putting it. We have read that what is Hayden's case. Now, if as a student you have to apply this and write the exam, and you have not read it once also, I guess now at least for out of the 4 marks, you will be able to write it at least for 2 marks. So we can just write that. I'm telling you, I'm not telling you perfect answer. I'm telling you that even if you have not read, but then also if you still put in some efforts, you will be able to write it. So we will be writing that Hayden's case is to be applied where more than one interpretations are where more than one interpretation are applicable, or where the statute is capable of more than one interpretation. Now read the first paragraph. Where the language used in a statute is capable of more than one interpretation, the most firmly established rule of construction is the principle laid down in Hayden's case. So this is the first step that was there. Now we read that 2 points: suppress the mischief and advance the remedy. Second paragraph, if you read, is based on those lines only. The intention of this rule is always to make such construction as shall suppress the mischief and advance the remedy according to the true intention of the legislature. So if I have to elaborate it a bit more, the court shall make such construction as will advance this. They are again writing, but only the first line will also suffice. It is to be noted that while applying Hayden's case, courts will be bound to look at the state. Now, this is what you have to remember extra, which was not given there. At the state of the law at the time of passing of the enactment, and not only as it then stood, but under previous statute too. Also, this rule can be applied only if there is an ambiguity in the present law, which we told. So, just reading the Saransh along with the knowledge of which you will gain through reading or listening to the lectures, you will at least be able to write. Now comes the last point wherein I was telling you about that you have to write the conclusion also. An intelligent student will understand that, okay, they have to apply the Hayden's case because there is mischief. Okay, but even if you don't write conclusion, 1 mark will be gone, but at least you will be able to write at least such something. Otherwise, students, you leave this chapter altogether, which is not right. And believe me, if you have practiced a few questions, the questions that have come up, you will be generally be able to solve the answer that comes, question that comes in your examination. So now let's read the conclusion and see, were we able to know that what the conclusion is? Generally, you have the conclusion here in your mind that, okay, aisa hoga. So in the given question, this is how we generally write the answer. In the given question, as per the facts of the question, as per the situation given in the question, the court would adopt an interpretation that suppress the mischief and advance the remedy. No need to write this line again. Therefore, Green Earth Limited cannot avoid liability merely because the pollution was caused by an independent contractor. The amendment was enacted to prevent such evasions. This is facts only. Green Earth Limited now would be held liable. This is the conclusion. Further, in the given situation, the mischief rule would be invoked because the provision is capable of more than one interpretation. And had the language been clear and unambiguous, there would have not been any reason to resort to this rule. I hope it's clear to you, students. Any query? Any query that how should we apply? Okay, Ashish. This was just an attempt to make you understand, not to leave anything. And you can achieve very good marks in this paper. Okay, Aditya, thank you. Chalo. Now let's move on to further. हमने पढ़ा, we have studied everything, but we need to now perform in the examination also. So you are in your examination hall. Before that, a night before the examination, like you will be having, you have given your accounts paper. Gayatri, it's not that as the factory is already there. The act that they were talking about, the state act or the which act they were talking about? Okay, the State Environment Protection Act was there, na? If the provision would have been clear, we cannot apply the this mischief rule. Mischief rule can only be invoked when there is some ambiguity in the law. Okay?
Ma'am,
Yes?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
In this question, you told how to write the question, but what I do is I like write the whole provision, like the mischief rule and all the four matters which were there, and then I give the question analysis of question, and then last conclusion. So, is this the wrong approach?
No. That's not a wrong approach. If you have that kind of a time that you can write those 4 points also, that's more than good. That means you have a good speed. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, so we can write the whole provision, right?
Yes, provided you have time.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank
That
you so
is
much.
even good if you can write the whole provision.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, so a night before the examination, you have given your accounts exam. You come back from the paper. Please now, whatever you have done in your accounts paper, keep it aside. Even if you keep on analyzing the paper, your marks will not increase and neither they will decrease. So please keep aside the accounts paper. At the max, what you can do is that this paper, you can score very well in the next paper. This is for every paper. Okay. You cannot go back to the past and improve something on that. You can just improve on the next paper, which is ahead of you. So come back, take rest, and then sleep or any kind of activity that you like to do. Relax yourself, and after 4 or 5 hours, start preparing for your next paper. If you feel that you can complete Companies Act first, that's well and good. Start with Companies Act then. If you feel that you can first do the other laws portion, 30 marks, do that. Take up something which you feel that you will be able to complete it within that day. Supposedly, your paper is 2 to 5, so you come back at around 6:30 kinds. 4-5 hours, you start studying at around 10. Okay. And if in 3 hours, 4 hours time, by 2 a.m., you are able to complete at least a significant portion, be it anything. Complete means complete. So complete that. It will give you a sense of accomplishment that at least I have finished 30 marks, 40 marks, 20 marks. Okay. Many students just come and sleep for around 1 or 2 hours and start studying at around 7, and then they go back to sleep by 12. That is also perfectly fine. And do not stay awake. Like, that depends totally from student to student. Sometimes students are they like to sleep till 10 and then they will be studying the whole night. Do it if that is your way of doing things. Do not try to copy any of your other friends or anything. Okay? Follow only your style. But try to complete at least 20 to 30 marks on that day itself. It will give you at least 20. It will give you a sense of accomplishment. That okay, at least 20 marks I have prepared for. Then the next day, complete the whole of the syllabus. Not more than 10 marks portion should be left for last day. Rather, nothing should be left for the last day, but even if it is there, then only 10 marks. This will give you ample of time to revise, revisit the questions that you feel are important, because keep on marking them right now only, and sufficient energy to attempt the paper the subsequent day. See, howsoever good you may have prepared, revision as well as performance during your examination matters a lot. If you are very tired on the day of examination, somewhere your performance decreases. So be very sure of this. Now, whatever your wherever your center is, just go to the center. Try to reach the center at least 30-35 minutes before. That even if there is sudden commotion in your stomach, which happens generally with the students just before the examination, you can be able to relax yourself. If there is traffic in the exam on your way to examination, you don't panic that I have not reached, I will not be able to reach there on time. Take that kind of a leverage that you should be reaching there 35-40 minutes before. Relax yourself before the examination. Do not panic. अब आपने जितना कर लिया अब आप उससे ज्यादा नहीं कर सकते थे. And believe in yourself. Now when you're sitting for the examination, just close your eyes and ground yourself there that you are sitting in the examination. You will be given 15 minutes of reading time. Make full use of that. Go through all the questions quickly, including your MCQ, because everything is given to you at one go. And mentally make a note of what you will be attempting first, because once you are reading the question, you get a bit of an idea that, okay, this is what I want to attempt. See, select the question that you would be attempting from all the questions. Mark the question which you will be attempting first. Mark here means mark it mentally. Then, since it's a 100 marks paper and you're given 180 minutes, so 180, these 180 minutes cannot be taken from you. Like Shah Rukh Khan said something, ye 90 minute tumse koi nahi chheen sakta. So I'm saying these 180 minutes cannot be taken away from you until and unless you just throw it here and there. So for these 100 marks, 180 minutes are given. That is 1.8 minutes for every mark. So for a 9 minutes question, for a 5 marks question, you will be having around 9 minutes. Why I'm giving this calculation? Supposedly, students, you keep on asking, ma'am, how much should we write? So what happens is, a question is there and it has 3 parts and it is of 5 marks. You start attempting that question and you know that question very well. You will be tempted to write more and more about that question. But nothing will fetch you more than 5 marks, even if you write 500 pages for that answer. So the moment you cross the limit of 9 marks, 9 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, you should then start closing the answer in the next 1 minute. Because more than that, you will not get the time to answer. It will then impact other question. Now, supposedly that answer was there and you knew it very, very well, or supposedly the question was such that it was bound to take around 10 to 11 minutes. Then there would be some other questions in the paper which will be very easy, even though they will be of 5 marks, but the material to write in that answer will not be taking more than 6-7 minutes. So this is how we compensate. Whenever there is paper, even if it's very, very difficult, but then also there will be some of the questions which will be very easy. Okay? A paper is never like that all the questions will be difficult. Even in those difficult questions, there will be a few which will be easier than the rest. So the key is to pick those questions and write them first. It will give you a confidence that, okay, now I have at least 20 marks with me. So that's why we have written this line, allocate an estimated time for each question based on their difficulty level and marks carried, keeping aside 10 to 15 minutes for revision. Even if you don't have 10 to 15, try to keep 5 minutes at least for revision. While revising the answers, many a times we see certain very small things, or at the end we remember, okay, this was the answer and I was not remembering it at that point. Write each answer in commensuration with the marks which the question carries. Answers should be precise and to the point. I hope now this is clear that how you will manage the time in the examination. Before moving further, I have to tell you 2 more important points. Do you have any query regarding this? Okay. So this time I got a very peculiar case. A student said that, ma'am, you always say that attempt the question which you know. We always say, na, pehle do the question which you know best. Obviously, this is the standard line that every teacher may be saying. So what the student did was, I know question number 5A very good. So the student attempted 5A. Then the student was knowing 4C very well. The student attempted 4C. Then the student knew 2B. So this is how the student attempted. I request you, kindly do not do this. If I or any teacher is saying, attempt the question which you know very well. Suppose you know question 5 very well, 5A very well, 5B very well. So while you will be attempting 5A, 5B, 5C. Not like this, that haphazard, don't do this. Now I know 5A, 5B. I am not knowing 5C. Leave the space, and once you are done with the rest of the questions, come back to this question. Like we said, that 10-15 minutes revision, at least 5 to 10 minutes revision. Now write any, you must be like, once you start writing, you must have seen that you tend to now get the answer. Things which you were not remembering before, but while writing, once you start writing, your confidence increases and you write that answer. Then you come back to this answer and write it. Supposedly now also you don't know this answer. Just go to this answer and at least make a line like this so that the paper checker knows that they don't have to correct this answer. So this is one important point. You may be thinking that this is very small, but it has actually costed a student marks. The student was like, aapne to, me or anybody else would have said that attempt the question that you know first. Ma'am, can I get step marks in 5A and 5B? If I leave 5C, you will get answer for marks for 5A. You will also get for 5B also. Why are you thinking about step marks? If you are writing 5A, 5B correctly, you will get those marks. What should we need to do in 15 minutes? Or reading questions, ma'am? I told you, I think we had a long discussion on this, that how to utilize the time in examination. When I read question, after that will be know that the exact answer, but I make mistake in writing the exact provision, but my conclusion will be correct. Give me suggestion for improvement. The only way to improve this thing, if you are writing the conclusion correctly, that means you're conceptually strong. The problem is with practice, that you have not practiced enough writing of answer. That's why when you read the question, you are able to know that what will be the provision, what will be the conclusion, but you don't know how to present your answer. So presentation matters. You need to practice writing of answers more. And that, Chetan, you can do only by writing. At least if you, even if you write 2 answers or 3 answers daily, rest you read, like, since not more than 14 days are left, So I cannot say more than that, but at least 2 to 3 answers you need to write on daily basis, and it will improve and enhance the quality of the answers that you will be writing in the examination. You cannot audit the answers and then expect that you will get very good marks. Okay, thank you. Okay, then coming back, we have discussed this. MCQs we have discussed. Descriptive answers and practical based questions we have discussed. Theoretical, descriptive, they're almost same. Writing of section numbers, as you keep on asking, writing of section numbers is not compulsory at intermediate level. However, as a good practice, since you are about to become chartered accountants after clearing this level, and final is not a cakewalk, so start practicing writing of section numbers, at least a few, and how to practice it whenever you are reading any question, whenever you are reading any provision, read it along with the section number, like as according to section 127, according to section 123. So if you keep on reading like this, you don't need to mug up, they will automatically get into your minds. Assumptions. So this is also very important point. Many a times what happens is while you are reading a question, the facts and you know the provision also, sometimes some of you may be knowing something practically also. So doubt may come up in your mind. Ki if some fact is not given, you may think, or incomplete information is given. At that point of view, at that point of time, you can make a logical assumption. Okay. And what do we mean by logical assumption? You can do not invent new facts born out of your thoughts, rather, a practical, logical assumption which is imperative to solving of the question. You must have seen the previous suggested answers that sometimes we give alternative also in the suggested, which means that more than one interpretation either of the question or of the provision was viable. Okay. So you can take a valid logical assumption, write it clearly, and then you can give the answer. However, unnecessary, illogical assumption should be avoided. So use your brain. Length of the answer. We have discussed this in length, that how do we decide the length of the answer. Any query on this? Okay. Many a time students resort to giving journalized answer without capturing the extant provision. So don't, can we Murphy the facts with conclusion? Merge, I think merge. Yes, you can merge the facts with the conclusion, but it should be evident that, okay, this is the conclusion. I'm not saying that you need to write a heading, but even while merging the facts with the conclusion, it should be like thus, some word like therefore. So in the given situation, so something which make it evident that you are giving them conclusion. So many a time student resort to giving journalized answer. Don't try to fool around with the paper checker. Okay. Answer should be given in legible English language. only shorthand notes, diagrams are to be avoided, not maybe avoided, they have to be avoided. Like the diagrams that I showed you in the Saransh, they are not to be written directly. Those points are not to be written as points only, they have to be written in proper English language, full sentences, no WhatsApp, no SMS kind of a language. If you are writing any abbreviation, like if you have to write MCA, so first, uh, as per the notification by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, in the bracket write MCA. Like, now, once you have written MCA like this, then you can at further places use this abbreviation MCA, but at least once write it fully. Okay. So a student has asked, ma'am, how to improve accuracy of speed in exams. Okay. Speed in exam, accuracy and speed are two different things. But in order to complete the paper in time, both are very important. This can be done only once you are very well aware why using pencil in MCQ. I will, Nagaraja, come to this question also. In the preparation phase, if you are at least practicing few questions by hand, which I told Chetan also, then your speed will definitely increase in the examinations. Otherwise, your speed, you cannot keep on auditing. Or what do we mean by auditing? That you keep on just reading the answers. Practicing means that you have to write at least a few questions by hand. So that's why I always tell my students to at least write two answers. If you would have that much of time, I would have said something else. But in this time also, at least two answers. It will hardly take 15 minutes of yours right now, but it will have a huge impact when you will be doing the answers, writing the answers in examination, because your motor skills will be much improved. See, many a time students even tell us that haath dukh gaya, their hands started paining while writing the answer, because um, in the initial phases, if you are not writing by hand, your fingertips will pain. And why do we remember the things that we learned in our kindergarten or class 1, class 2, class 5? Because by at that time we are writing everything by hand. Teacher will tell you to write it. Okay. So here also you have to write at least a few questions by hand. It will increase your speed as well as your accuracy also. Why? While you will be writing, it improves, while writing the answer by hand also improvises on your memory. Okay. So why using pencil in MCQ? Because if your instruction says so and I need to get marks in my examination, then I need to use a pencil in examination. You have to read the instructions that are sent along with your admit card. You must have got the admit card by now, I guess. There is a page which tells you about this instructions. I hope so that's clear to you. Any more questions? Ma'am, why using HB pencil only to darken if examiner erases the answer? नहीं मेरे बच्चे, examiner will not do this. They want to pass you, beta. They want to pass you. No examiner will do. And secondly, your OMR sheets are not checked by any examiner. They are computerized. So don't worry. And I hope so we can trust the machine that much. Ma'am, writing fact of the case is mandatory in 2 to 3 months. Inno sir. Itu sir. Like a student said na, that can I merge the facts with the conclusion? Do that. Okay? कर लोगे. अगर ये questions आ रहे हैं दिमाग में तो एग्जाम में भी कर लोगे. Please tell me how to do fast MCQ. Have very good preparation. That's the easiest answer to your question. I told you, students who are technically very sound, conceptually very strong, do that. And while one tip that I can give you is while reading the facts of the question, facts of the case scenario, at the first instance, read them in a jiffy, fast, okay? So that at least you know, if it is like 20 lines of facts, not every line is important. So what happens is, if you do it like that, you will be able to know while reading the MCQs that, okay, this is related to that part of the scenario. So this is one tip that I can give you. Ma'am, how to remove tension of exam? Tension लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Okay, why should we be afraid of the exam? Why should we be afraid of the exam? Either we have not prepared fully. One is this, either we, yes, correct. जो होगा देखा जाएगा. We only practice. If we have prepared well and we are practicing, we will be able to do it. Have that confidence. See, like many of you must have seen me before also. I'm down with viral and everything. And that's why I'm feeling a bit, while speaking also, I'm again and again gasping for my breath and everything. The point is, what will come up just before the examination, you cannot say. Like right now, the scene in Assam is so worse. Okay? What can those people do? But if you have studied well and practice by practice, what I mean, I have told you. So you will be able to perform. Have faith in yourself. Eat clean, sleep deeply, and either go in for walk or dance or music. Rejuvenate yourself on a regular basis. You will be definitely able to do it. And saying about that, it's difficult. Had this course been so easy, era gera nathu gera in Hindi, any person would have been able to do this course. So just have faith that if you have come this far, you are just 14 days. Like if I talk about accounts paper, it's not even 14 days. You are in Shimog. बच्चे मुझे I don't understand. Okay, so don't worry about such people who keep on now at this stage telling you about tension. Eliminate those tension people from your life right now. Don't even think about it. Agar by now, even if you feel like, okay, you have not done enough, you have not done this, you have not done that. Like somebody told 12 days, yes, 12 days for your paper one. I'm talking about paper two. So leave everything. ऐसे लोगों को अपनी लाइफ से ना कुछ दिनों के लिए दूर कर दो जो टेंशन दे रहे हैं. टेंशन का अब हमारे पास स्कोप नहीं है. हम उस we have already we like if it's a peak, your exam is like a peak. If you have come like this, is it worth going down again? Like reaching this is still less in terms of distance. If I see, if this is the mountain slope, you have come till here. Going down is easy, or what should I say? Moving a bit further, pushing yourself is easy. Okay, so that you reach the peak. That's what I can say. Don't even think about such thing. Eat clean. Don't eat junk food. Don't watch shorts. I have been telling you again and again, don't watch shorts. And don't worry about anything. 3 महीने बाद पेपर हो जाते हैं. अपना पेपर दो, ऐसे लोगों से दूर रहो और अपना आराम से. एंड लाइक I don't know who is this. ठीक है, table was shaking and this. We have faced even worse things. It's okay. If I concentrate on that table, I will not be able to give my exams. I will now concentrate only on that how I, as Shraddha, can become a CA. I'm already a CA. I'm just telling you, like, my in these 20 days till the time your exams are complete, my only thought should be I need to be in good health, mentally as well as physically, and I have already cleared my examination. I have already cleared my examination. This should become your mantra now. Don't think about anything. I have already cleared my examination. I am like CA degree मेरे बस 2 साल बाद मेरा देने के लिए institute is the institute is very happy to give me the degree. They are just waiting for me to give the degree. That's it. So don't worry about these things. No, there is no need to learn the rule number and form numbers. At this point, it's practically not possible. No, I am not in Shimoga. No, I am not in Mangalore. I'm nowhere of these places. So don't take tension. Tension hai to just give it to the Board of Studies academic. I would say that you will be having the sessions tomorrow and day after tomorrow also. So give the tension to academics. After 20 days, we will talk about it. If you want, you can write a mail to us. Please follow these steps. You will be able to clear your examination. Because some of you, I can make out that I have interacted with you before also. Okay? So any more queries that you have for us? Bhuva, yes, you can unmute. Ghanshyam, you can.
Hello, ma'am. Good
Yes,
afternoon. Ma'am, I'm facing the problem in language, like not literal language, but initially you have said कि there are some of question where they consolidate facts of two or more provision of or the same provision, right? So there is for example, there is a question in ICAI module of chapter 3.
Hmm.
The question is about forgery of section 56, but
Mm-hmm.
they have also written the some of crux of section 46 shared certificate.
Okay.
So how to detect such? What the section should be written or what not?
Okay, so this also comes with practice. What happens is the question would be somewhere related to shelf prospectus only. The question is related to shelf prospectus.
Share certificate.
No, it's related to share certificate. They are asking about share certificate or shelf prospectus.
No, the question was about forgery.
Can you tell me the question?
Yeah, okay, I have to look after.
By Nagarjun. Nagaraj. Okay. Nagarjun. Nagaraj. Or you call me on my direct landline number.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Can you give me?
It's there in my it's there in the website. My direct landline number is there.
Okay.
Okay.
And ma'am, in these last days, what the ideal revision format should be? Like, should I revise the notes or should I go for questions directly?
Okay. Very good question. A mix of both. Uh, just if you have made some notes of your own or you're referring somebody's notes, so refer those notes, and those notes should be such that they should like the notes that I just Saransh has showed you. So what happens is those notes or any notes for that matter are made in such a manner which is as per the person who has made them. But you may feel that you need to add something more in that. So you should always have notes which are complete in all respects as per you. Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
refer those notes, and in these last times, I just like told you that at least attempt 2 to 3 MTPs, and while you must be doing your practice, you must have marked a few important questions because at this
Yes.
point you cannot read every question.
Yes, ma'am.
So revise those.
Okay.
Okay. I hope that is clear.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Shrishti, you can unmute. Shrishti, you can unmute. Okay, you are not able to unmute. Just write your query. I will see to it. Then Gayatri is asking, ma'am, for alteration of memorandum of association objects, whether by a special resolution, SR with postal ballot. I don't get your question. Like, obviously, special resolution is there, but I'm asking like the board's report topic in the accounts of companies, it contains so many particular likes. Okay. So, see, this question coming at this point of time, obviously you cannot mug up everything. So my generally what I tell my students is that you should keep on repeating. Repeating is the, I would not say learn or mug, but if you keep on reading such things, na, you tend to not understand, rather it goes into your mind. So if the board report, like accounts of companies in the board's report, section 134, 136, a lot of points are there. So if you read it around 5 6 times, so by reading, I'm not saying that you every day you read it, but in a week, if you would have kept on reading it, na, those points would have got into your mind. You cannot learn everything. Shrishti, I guess you are able to understand what I'm saying. I said, no, like even I don't learn the section numbers. They're just by repetition. Okay, you are saying that is it enough we remember 5 to 6 points? I cannot say that it is like if they ask you that what are the contents of board report, then in that case 5 to 6 points are enough. But if the question is from a particular point, they ask and they give a particular point and ask that whether this is an important point of board content, board reports content. I cannot tell you na that okay 5 6 बहुत था. So here the fact with respect to reading it again and again comes. I hope it's clear, Shrishti. Learning 5 to 6, if they are asking just only points, then it's okay. But you need to be aware of all the points that are there. Ma'am, provision is required for some important question. Ma'am, provision is required for some questions is important. Aditya, can you elaborate this? Ha, perfectly fine, Trishti, perfectly fine. I got it. Aditya, are you asking or? So this is like you were saying about postal ballot. If you see, the question will be specifying that alteration has to be objects, alteration of memorandum has, in case of object clause, has to be in with respect. As 3 special conditions are given in case of, if you see, I understand what you are asking. So if you see that the question will specifically tell you. So in that case, postal ballot has to be there. Question is may give and marks in exam as may. Aditya, I cannot make out what you are asking actually. Question. Transmission of securities. The answer contains some of the question. Thank you, Vibhor, for understanding this. I appreciate. We are trying our level best. That's why I took up even the topics where you students leave the questions. Thank you. Thank you. Bhuva, Can you just call me on my number? I cannot make out. Okay, Ashish, I think you said something. Okay, Ashish, you can unmute yourself.
हेलो गुड इवनिंग मैम।
Good evening, beta.
मैम जैसे कुछ क्वेश्चंस में है ना थोड़ा ऐसे एम्बिग्यूटी टाइप होती है जैसे एग्जाम्स में, जैसे कि मतलब
होती है।
जैसे उसमें लिख रखा है कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट और उसका पीएसयू बाहर इतना रेमेंट कर सकते हैं, उसके लिए एचआरडी की वो चाहिए, लेकिन
बिल्कुल।
उसमें आ जाता है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और वो कुछ अलग आ जाता है, फिर वो परमिटेड है या प्रोहिबिटेड है फिर वो?
ये आप एमसीक्यू की बात कर रहे हो ना?
हाँ हाँ।
उसमें ना एक्चुअली अगर आप प्रोविजन पढ़ोगे फेमा का, तो उसमें उन्होंने ना पीएसयू और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट करके लिख रखा है। ठीक है। जब आप लेकिन उसको पढ़ोगे केस सिनेरियो को, तो इफ आई रिमेम्बर इट करेक्टली, तो उसमें शायद उसने सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट वर्ड यूज कर रखा है।
यस मैम। हाँ।
सो वो उस केस सिनेरियो का कैच है। आप
और
समझ?
मैम ये बुकलेट में है केस सिनेरियो
आप
आई से?
नहीं, आप इस केस, आप अभी जो एग्जाम में है उस केस सिनेरियो की बात कर रहे हो क्या?
हाँ यस मैम।
हाँ हाँ, तो आप उसको पढ़ोगे ना, तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। आप मेरी क्लास के बाद ही जाके देखना, केस सिनेरियो का जो स्टार्टिंग है ना जहां पर,
यस मैम।
वहां पे देखना, वहां पे आई थिंक सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट वर्ड यूज है। मुझे, मैं आई एम नॉट कैरिंग
यस
इट।
मैम। हाँ हाँ।
ठीक है। और जो हमारा फेमा का प्रोविजन है, वो कहता है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एंड पीएसयूज वाली बात।
यस मैम। हाँ।
तो इसमें मेन प्रॉब्लम ही यही आई थी इस वाले क्वेश्चन में। इसीलिए उसका आंसर देखो क्या है, फ्रीली कर दिया होगा उसको। आंसर क्या मार्क्ड है करेक्ट?
मैम ये तो नहीं देखा मैंने।
आप देखो, क्योंकि मैं बता रही हूँ ना उसमें कैच क्या था क्वेश्चन में। नाउ यू रिविजिट, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा, क्योंकि आपने मुझसे जो क्वेश्चन पूछा, दैट इज अ वेरी सेलिब्रेटेड क्वेश्चन राइट नाउ। ओके।
यस मैम।
अब
यस मैम।
देखना आंसर आपको समझ में आ जाएगा अब, कि वहां पे पीएसयूज और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है। ठीक है। और क्वेश्चन केस सिनेरियो में सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट वर्ड यूज्ड।
मैम सही क्या है इसमें?
वो
सेंट्रल
फैक्ट में
गवर्नमेंट।
सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट दिया है उन्होंने, तो हम सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को
हाँ।
लेके चलेंगे, फिर हम पीएसयू, फिर वो उस स्केड्यूल के लिए नहीं एप्लीकेबल होगा ना।
अच्छा। ओके
हाँ,
मैम। हम्म।
क्योंकि वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट पीएसयूज की बात करता है।
ओके मैम।
ओके।
थैंक यू मैम।
गायत्री, मैं आपको कहूंगी बेटा आप मुझे कॉल करो, क्योंकि मुझे आपका क्वेश्चन समझ में आ रहा है जिस क्वेश्चन पे आप जा रहे हो, लेकिन जब तक आप उसका प्रोविजन नहीं समझोगे, उसमें पोस्टल बैलेट आएगा बेटा, एग्जाम का क्वेश्चन है। ठीक है। I hope with this we have cleared every query. Aditya, you have any queries? नहीं, hands down. Okay, so with this, I hope I have taken all your queries. No more queries are pending. मैंने दो बच्चों को बोला कि you can call me. My number is there on the website. But please call me after half an hour. Let me have a breather. आप दोनों अपनी queries मुझे, या तो आप मुझे कॉल कर लीजिए, so that it don't waste much of your time. And to all my other students, have a blast while giving these papers. Do not be afraid. Stay cool, stay calm, stay hydrated, and enjoy. This is just a customary process for you to go to the next level of your life. Be chartered accountancy करोगे, फिर जॉब करोगे, so these are customary levels. So वो हम ऐसे ऐसे दौड़ के खेलते हैं ना, and then we jump to the next level, then the next level, next level. Take it like that. So you will all be able to complete your papers very nicely, and I want to see you all coming out as with flying colors. Okay. Thank you, Kuldeep. Thanks a lot. Much needed for me right now. And with this, take care. Have a blessed life and all the best. Great. Yes, Krishti, I love this. That's the spirit. So all the best, bacho. Take care. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, lovely students. Ashok ji.